Hi, and welcome to another episode of Eyes Wide Open. In the last episode, we talked about how Mashiach's arrival is action dependent, not time dependent. It's entirely dependent on us. There's no specific moment that Mashiach has to come by that before then Mashiach cannot come. So the question is this. You may have heard this idea that Mashiach has to come by the year 6000. How does that fit in with the idea that Mashiach's arrival is action dependent and not time dependent? If Mashiach's arrival but we say that Mashiach will come by the year 6000. So the answer to that is that when we say that Mashiach might come by the year 2000, what that means is that Mashiach can come at any moment, and it's entirely dependent on us. When Mashiach comes, we have the power and the responsibility to bring Mashiach. At the same time, God has a set time, which only He knows, by which point He'll bring Mashiach no matter what. Based on the Talmudic teaching that the world will last 6,000 years, with the last 2,000 being dedicated to Mashiach, it's commonly assumed that the year 6,000, which is the end of those 2,000 years, is that set time no matter what Mashiach will come by the year 6,000. However, that's an assumption. Only God knows a true set time. In addition, there have been certain focal points or deadlines. In Hebrew we call them kitzin akates throughout history, which have been said to be uniquely opportune times for Mashiach to come. However, and this is a key point, Judaism considers discussing those set times and getting too excited about them to be irrelevant and to be completely missing the point. To give a metaphor, a wife asks her husband to do the laundry. Now, the husband knows that if he doesn't do the laundry, there will come a point where his wife will eventually give up and she'll do the laundry. And when that happens, the laundry will have gotten done. But he'll miss the entire point. The point wasn't that the laundry get done. The point was that he be the one to do the laundry. In a similar sense, the Mashiach isn't just about Mashiach coming, but us being the ones to bring him. Now, God has decided that there'll be a point that if we don't bring Mashiach, eventually he'll say, fine, I'll just bring Mashiach on my own. But when we get too caught up in that, when is that? Is that the year 6000? Is it this time? Is it another time? We're missing the point. The point isn't when does God step in to bring Mashiach. The point is that we bring Mashiach before God has to do that. And therefore the rabbi said that they had no interest and they considered it completely missing the point to talk about these set times. That said, certain great rabbis, Maimonides was one of them, have at times revealed specific deadlines that they were aware of in their lifetime that this was an opportune time to bring Mashiach, and they revealed it to the public. They didn't feel that was in contrast or ignoring this statement of the Talmudic rabbis to not talk about set times, because they felt since those set times were in their lifetime, by telling the public about them, it might inspire them and get them more excited and get them more interested and bring Mashiach faster, because knowing that Mashiach would come at a specific moment and that there was a specific moment in their lifetime that was more opportune for Mashiach to come. So that's why they talked about those moments. But it wasn't that those moments were the specific point Mashiach had to come, and if they were to miss those moments, then Mashiach could no longer come. Mashiach is completely action dependent, and they only talked about those moments because they felt it would inspire them to do those actions that needed to bring Mashiach. However, as we're going to explore later on in this podcast, we are so close to Mashiach's arrival that right now, every moment is like an opportune deadline to bring Mashiach. And as we said in the last episode, one more action could be all that's needed to finally bring Mashiach.